Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It's Sunday, April 30th. Looking through the news, I saw a story that Kevin McCarthy and some Republicans have headed off to Israel to address, I think it's the equivalent of the Israeli House of Representatives. And he was quoted by local news sources there saying that if Biden doesn't invite Netanyahu to the U.S. soon, then McCarthy is going to make that invitation. For those who... I didn't know the story, but I'll update you with it. When Obama was president, he did not invite Netanyahu to the White House. There were some comments, I think, that were being made by far-right members of Netanyahu's party. So at that time, the Republican House invited Netanyahu to the U.S. to speak before the House. And that's generally considered really, really bad form. And it really damaged relations between Obama and Netanyahu and between the Democratic Party and Israel. So now we've got a situation where Netanyahu's in charge again in Israel. He's facing corruption charges, and now he's trying to rearrange the judicial system in Israel. You know, nothing like putting a criminal in for the president and let that criminal basically redefine your Supreme Court and your judicial system. I would guess because you don't want to be held accountable for the stuff you did. What a novel concept. Great job if you can get it. And so there were tons of protests in Israel, as well there should be. And the government backed off on it a little bit, and then they did some rocket attacks on Hamas or something along those lines to distract from the anger that people were using to protest these changes. They're going to let things cool down a little bit, then try again in the middle of the night when nobody's looking. But because of that, Biden has not invited Netanyahu to the U.S., at least not in the near term. Stop trying to corruptly take over your government and get away from it. This is exactly what Donald Trump would do if he was reelected. Oh, yes, I forgot. If you're a Donald Trump fan or you live on the MAGA side of YouTube, you're not going to like this channel. I'm going to tell you like it is. And your reality isn't what the rest of us are living in. So if you don't want to be triggered, go off. You've heard enough. Go do whatever it is that you want to do. Go shoot things with the AR-15 or whatever it is that you want to do. You're not going to like it here. But if you stick around, you might learn a few things. At least get a different perspective. Okay, so 2 things. We want to find out about Israel and what's the current situation with Netanyahu trying to change over the judicial system. And then, why is McCarthy trying to invite Netanyahu over here? Is it just bluster, or is there some other reason for it? Okay, for entertainment purposes only. Let's start with Netanyahu and Israel. What's going on there? Spirit, let us know. Okay, we've got the Queen of Swords. Okay, so Queen of Swords is, harsh judgments. There's no emotion in them. It's just intellectual. It's black or white, my way or the highway. Here we go. Chop, chop, chop. We're going to cross that with the Fool, a new journey or foolish behavior. So this tells me that Netanyahu still would like to change that judicial system, but it's crossed with, it's a foolish choice. This is not something that's going to play well. Basically, the populace hasn't forgotten. Just because you delayed and distracted them with something doesn't mean they forgot what you were trying to do. Yeah, interesting. I just noticed you got the sun in the corner. It's a brand new day, a new start. They're again. I truly do think they're going to try and go with this again, but it's not going to change. You didn't change anything. You're going to get the same result. In the past, we had the Two of Swords, so we had the crossroads. You had to make a choice, and whereas notice this is at night. You've got a moon that's out there, so there's mysteries. Or trying to do things in the dead of the night, so to speak. This card's showing it the next day. So this is showing the progression that happened. This happened at night. This is happening at the day. He wants to make that change. They're waiting for a better time to do it. They tried to, and then you got the justice's blind card too. And swords are the sword of justice. This is all just tying in nicely. I like this. But yeah, in the past they tried to do it. It didn't work out well. What's the current situation? Current situation is the magician. I think in this case you got both. He's trying to manifest by taking the military action. He is trying to create the illusion. This is the low energy card. The illusion that he's trust. You can trust him. He's got your best interests in mind, and he's doing what's best for Israel. So he's trying to change the narrative and get people to trust him so he can go forward with his Queen of Swords moment. The lesson to be learned, though, is the Temperance card. Okay, we've got a back-to-back major arcana. Actually, I have 3 now. He's trying to slowly integrate his overhaul. So he might back off on a big overhaul. He might make some small changes instead of making a really radical change overnight. He might just try to change things slowly. Like, it'd be like, let's say for instance, the Supreme Court. We've got 9 justices. This might be adding 2 more justices to the Supreme Court, who he puts on. And he puts on justices that would favor him. So now he's got a little more sway, a little more favoritism in their version of the Supreme Court. And now you can start passing legislation or bringing cases up there that the Supreme Court can rule in your favor to weaken the overall rule of law. So I think he's trying something different. He's going to try a slower approach over time. The problem is that he doesn't have a lot of time because there are corruption investigations. And the Temperance is about purification, and you purify corrupt things. So there's a balance between hiding your true intentions to change the law versus the law's coming and it's going to come and purify you, your corrupt ways. Will he beat it? The lesson to be learned is the King of Pentacles. I'm going to put that down as Netanyahu or wealthy elites there. He's... if you've got the money, well, part of it is his corruption. He's been taking bribes, right? So here's your leader with money in his pocket. So part of the lesson is that he's been taking bribes, and those bribes came out, and it's kind of hard to ignore what happened. It's foolish to try and ignore what happened because that information's out there, and hide it as much as you can. It's still going to it's recognized and it's going to get cleaned up. Outcome. King of Cups. I think what happens, this is either going to describe a very mature energy of the Israeli people, but I think what this is that he's going to be replaced by somebody else. There's going to be somebody who replaces him who's, or something happens either like if you have a powerful leader of the judicial that fights this. I know there was a minister of defense that raised the alarm on this one. I think in the end of the day, there's going to be adults in the room that are not going to allow this to happen, and it might lead to his replacement as the head of that party. Yeah, and underneath is the burden card. He's under a lot of stress. He's trying to do this. I think he runs out of time. And this could even be Joe Biden in the U.S. This could be Biden's influence of getting change done by reaching out to other allies in the government, or even warning Netanyahu that if he tries to do what he's planning on doing, he's going to face some very, very serious consequences. Maybe he goes in exile. They work out a deal. He leaves. He goes in exile and doesn't come back. I don't know the full turnout. The probability is it looks like he's blocked. It looks like sensible people in the room end up blocking him. Maybe he gets some changes done, but I think he's going to get purged. We'll see. Okay, now, Kevin McCarthy. I think I've got a man crush on Kevin today. Oh, hello, Kevin. Both from California. You're from Fresno or something. Anyways, Kevin McCarthy. What are you doing? Why are you just trying to show up Joe Biden? Is that all this is? Is this just another one of those toxic masculinity moments where I'm trying not to use vulgar terms here? My willy's bigger than your will. What's McCarthy doing? What's he thinking? Spirit, take me down a couple notches here. What is McCarthy? What's he doing with Netanyahu? What's the? Give me the 411. What's he trying to do with this situation? I'm not understanding it. Because I don't think like McCarthy, so it's hard for me to Knight of Swords. Okay, you want to pop out? Fine. He's hurrying up. He's rushing. He's trying to get things done quickly. This might be a distraction. This could also be that if Netanyahu's in trouble, he's racing to the rescue. That would make some sense, right? Because if Netanyahu goes to the U.S. and gets recognized by the U.S. president, it's going to show legitimacy. I mean, it appears he was legitimately elected, but he's corrupt, and there's a lot of charges on him. So you got to rush forward quickly to this guy's rescue. That King of Cups might very well be in the previous reading Joe Biden and his influence on what happens over there. What are we crossing this with? The Page of Swords. This is, I think, again, this is McCarthy trying to do something quickly, but he doesn't have the mastery. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not good at this. He's just not good at this. So he's being reactionary. He is not Mitch McConnell. Think of say what you will about Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is savvy as anything, and he doesn't make blunders. McCarthy is just, he's like skipping through the minefield and body parts are blowing off of the guy. He's from California. I'm so sorry, everyone. But he wanted to be the House Speaker. He gave up everything to be the House Speaker. In the past, we've got the moon. We've got the secrets. I think this is Netanyahu's the stuff he's got hiding in the past, or maybe there's some secret agreements or something like that are going on between Netanyahu's government and the Republican Party, and they're trying to strengthen those ties. But we don't know what's going on. There's some secrets that are going on back there that are probably linking this current government with the Republican Party. Maybe that'll be revealed. Let's see if the Sun card pops up out of here. Current situation. Oh, lovely. 7 of Swords. Trying to get away with it. McCarthy's trying to get one over. And again, the 7 of Swords is about stealing things and leaving people vulnerable. So why is he doing this? This is so that Netanyahu can steal the judicial system over in Israel. Again, I think that's what's happening. This is trying to give him legitimacy so that he can make more changes to the government to protect himself so he's not held responsible. And again, this could also be double dealings with the GOP with the secrets that they've got going on here. This is not a good situation. McCarthy is playing with fire. No wands have come up yet, but he's playing with fire. Justice card. Overarching energy. This is the Justice card. This is all about changing Israel, changing their judicial system. This reeks of that. And then we've got the High Priestess, which I believe Lena Rodriguez has told me that this card is the most Jewish card in the deck. So of course it's going to come up. The lesson to be learned is the High Priestess. There's secrets that are going on. Secrets revealed if you ask. So ask is basically an ask and you shall receive type of vibe. So there could be investigations going on or something along those lines. If you ask the right questions, you'll get the answer that's going on here. But again, the high priestess, I think, is more indicating that this is Israel. This is Israel trying to change and steal their judicial system from their people, and it's being aided and abetted by the GOP in the form of Kevin McCarthy. Outcome is the Six of Cups. It's Netanyahu wanting to go back to the way things were, I guess, before he was corrupted, but that's also a naivete card. And I might have to throw some clarifiers on that. Does that mean he's successful in taking things back to the past? Or does that mean he was naive in that? Let's see what the underlying energy is. Money, 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 money. It's raining money. Okay, this is all about Netanyahu's corruption. This is the corruption of his government, the corruption of his family, and basically paying the monies on all that. So, what? Do I want to throw more on this one? That night, what's the outcome? The naivety, Six of Cups. I think Kevin McCarthy's being naive with this. This isn't going to work out the way, he wants those close ties, but I don't think this is going to work out the way that Kevin McCarthy wants it to work out. I want to say it's not going to work out. Because if you invite him in, the president's not supporting it. You know what? Yeah, this isn't going to work out. Here's what's happening. McCarthy wants this. He wants Netanyahu to come. He may invite him. Netanyahu will decline because he learned his lesson from doing that to Obama and how much the U.S. retracted. And what he really needs is the U.S. to back him up. So I think Netanyahu's going to do the political calculus and determine that, no, thanks for the invite. That maybe that helps him out a little bit over there. But to actually come and speak before Congress would be disastrous. It wouldn't have the effect. He wants it to have the effect that it does, but he wants Biden to be the one who does it. And so maybe McCarthy's trying to play another game of chicken with Joe Biden to force Biden to invite Netanyahu over, which would benefit Netanyahu. So I think that's where they're gunning for it. I don't think they're going to get it because I don't think Joe Biden's going to cave in. Maybe we should ask, huh? We'll look at another 20-minute reading here. Okay, will Joe Biden invite Benjamin Netanyahu to the U.S. in the near future? Because he said he wasn't going to do it in the near future. Well, is he going to invite him to the U.S. without any... How do I want to say this? He might, if Netanyahu backs off of trying to change the judiciary, then Biden would probably invite him. But if Netanyahu won't give him that assurance, then he won't invite him. So will Biden invite Netanyahu over without the assurances that Netanyahu isn't going to overhaul the judiciary? And I think that's where the high priestess came in that last reading. Because basically the diplomats will get together and ask what's going to happen. Are you going to do this, yes or no? So that's when you ask and you get the answer. If the answer is yes, Biden won't invite him. If the answer is no, he won't. Okay, so will Biden invite him if Netanyahu won't give him the assurance that he's not going to change the judiciary? We get the Knight of Pentacles. There'll be that offer. Holding hostage. There's the Sun card. Told you it was going to come out. And then there's the Four of Swords. Okay. And underneath it's the Hermit. So the truth is going to be exposed. Biden's going to ask the question. You can't come unless you promise you're not going to do this. The truth is exposed. The truth is exposed. You got the black horse and the white horse. You want to come, you have to say you're not going to change your judiciary. It's up to you. Up to you how you want to play that. And on the one hand, Netanyahu doesn't want to be tied to that. He doesn't want to make that choice. That's like the one choice he doesn't want to make because he's held hostage by it. So Netanyahu will retreat. I think in the end of the day, Netanyahu is going to still try and change the judiciary, which means that he can go pound sand because, the hermit, the truth is exposed. He's exposed to what he's doing. No, Biden will not invite him over here unless he absolutely promises he's not going to do it, and I don't think Netanyahu's going to do that. Okay, so does Netanyahu get thrown in prison? We'll leave it at that. We will leave it at that because that actually answers the questions that I wanted to throw out there, what the status is with what they're going on in Israel. He's trying to distract. He's trying to get invited to the U.S., and it all depends on Biden. And Biden is going to ask him flat out, "Are you going to change the judiciary? Yes or no?" "Oh, you are? You're not coming here. We're not going to recognize you." Okay, so that's my reading on that. My man crush with Kevin McCarthy today continues. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, I've had 2 long ones today so far, so I don't know if I can figure out some short ones for some quicker hitters. Go ahead, do the like, subscribe, all the YouTube-y stuff as I'm slowly working my way to 700 subscribers. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your the thumbs ups and the comments and all the good stuff that you've got going on. I hope you enjoyed that fun little video I did with Johnny and about Johnny and Lena. I should actually go back and look at it and read the cards properly to see what's really going on. I just remember that had the 10 of wands in there. Travel's hard, and I'm sure Lena, when in her days of youth, traveling was grand. But it gets harder as you get further into the vintage years here. So it might just be it's a harder thing to do. More recovery time. I could just totally see Lena on a long cruise. This kind of what they used to do back around the turn of the 20th century. Instead of flying to these places because you couldn't, you had to go on a 3-month cruise. Doesn't that sound lovely? Unless you like boats, but they've gotten certainly luxurious. All right, I'm rambling. Thank you very much for entertainment purposes only. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.